There are three muscular compartments in the thigh. The extensor group, consisting mostly of the quadriceps, which consists of the rectus femoris muscle, the vastus medialis muscle, the vastus lateralis muscle, and deep to the rectus femoris, the vastus intermedius muscle. Here we are looking at the aponeurotic outermost surface of the vastus intermedius. With respect to the vastus medialis, there are two components or sets of fibers. These are the oblique fibers. The lowermost fibers are oblique. Some of them sometimes almost transverse. And the functions of these fibers is to stabilize the patella during tracking. The uppermost fibers are more vertically situated. So these are the lateral fibers, these are the oblique fibers. The vastus lateralis, again, some of the fibers are slightly oblique. The rectus femoris pulls directly on the patella, so that the vastus medialis with the vastus lateralis and the retinacular ligaments of the patella not shown are important for guiding the patella during tracking. In addition to the quadriceps, there is also the sartorius muscle. It's a muscle of the extensor compartment. This muscle, as we will see later on, goes on to form part of the anserine tendon and inserts into the tibia. The flexor group of muscles, and these are collectively referred to as the hamstrings. Here we can see the semitendinosus. It's a long tendon that goes all the way to the knee. Half of it is tendon, the proximal part is muscle, semitendinosus. And this lies and together in and together with the semimembranosus forms a cylindrical muscle mass. You can see the upper part of the semimembranosus, or it is a flattened tendon. So that the upper part of the semitendinosus is fleshy and sits into the uppermost part of the semimembranosus, and the reverse is true in the distal part. The semitendinosus becomes quite thin and tendinous, and the semimembranosus remains bulky. The third muscle is the biceps, and this consists of two heads. The long head, which arises from the ischial tuberosity together with the semitendinosus and semimembranosus muscles, as well as a short head which unites with the long head, forming the biceps femoris. The biceps femoris inserts into the head of the fibula. notice that there are essentially 3 muscles in the flexor compartment as against 4 big muscles, the quadriceps, in the extensor compartment. Also interestingly, these 3 smaller muscles extend the hip joint and the flexed knee joint. The hamstrings have a common origin from the ischial tuberosity, and as they insert distally, when they contract, they will pull back the femur, that is, extend the hip joint. These muscles are constantly under stress. Not surprisingly, therefore, that they are the commonest group of muscles to be injured in athletes. In the adductor compartment, we see the gracilis and the other adductors being arranged in 3 layers. The adductor longus anteriorly, the adductor brevis in between, adductor brevis, and the adductor magnus. So they form 3 strata. The adductor longus has a very good lever arm and is probably the most powerful of the adductors. Notice the tendon of the adductor longus. Notice the tendon of the adductor longus as it goes right up inferolateral to the pubic tubercle. This here is the pubic tubercle. This tendon is easily palpable by abducting, slightly abducting the hip, palpating the pubic tubercle, and then running your finger inferiorly. The gluteal region. We have already looked at the attachments of the gluteal muscles on the bony pelvis. We will now identify these muscles on the specimen. The gluteus maximus muscle. A very powerful extensor of the hip. It's an explosive muscle. The gluteus medius muscle. And deep to it, and right here, deep to the gluteus medius is the gluteus minimus. Here my finger is inserted into the interval between the gluteus medius superficially, and deep to my finger the gluteus minimus. I have now cut the gluteus medius, and one can notice immediately deep to it the fibers of the gluteus minimus. This muscle here, which lies edge to edge with the gluteus medius, is the piriformis muscle. So notice the gluteus medius overlying and overlapping the gluteus minimus which lies immediately deep to it. The gluteus medius and minimus together form what are called the deltoids of the hip. The actions of these muscles are abduction of the hip joint. One does not normally go around walking and abducting the hips at the same time. So that the functions of these muscles are quite different. This shiny structure here is the sacrotuberous ligament. The other muscles seen in this region are the quadratus femoris, the obturator internus, the tendon of the obturator internus with the two gemini inserting into it, the inferior gemellus and the superior gemellus. The obturator internus with the two gemini form a muscle triad which inserts a smooth area above the fossa. The obturator externus muscle, not dissected in this specimen, inserts into the fossa. This muscle, on its way to insertion, lies across or runs across the neck of the femur, producing a groove. And the posterior fibers of the capsule of the hip joint gets as far distally as the upper part of the groove, so that the piriformis, the quadratus femoris, and the muscle triad form 5 of the 6 muscles referred to as the lateral rotators or short lateral rotators of the thigh. In this part, we are looking at the iliotibial tract, known commonly in athletic circles as the iliotibial band. It is a very thick aponeurotic structure forming a common tendon for the insertion of the tensor fasciae latae muscle and the gluteus maximus muscles. These two muscles insert into the iliotibial tract. Of interest in this specimen is the lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh. It enters the thigh just medial to the anterior superior iliac spine. And at this site, it may be compressed and is associated with the syndrome of paresthetica neuralgia.